Welcome traders to yet another educational video of Nifty Short Term View, episode number 34. Today, Nifty Futures has closed almost 109 points down and Bank Nifty Futures has closed 293 points down in the red territory. And in front of us, we have the Nifty Futures near month contract. First, I would like to share the information on the daily chart. One thing is very much evident and very clear that the trend is down. Prices are below the moving averages. And if all of you remember, then I had stated in my episode number 33 Nifty Short Term View video that if we close below this particular trend line, then the levels which could be tested on the downside would be 16,225 and possibly even 16,200. I guess both of these levels have been tested today. And the candle which has been made today is a high wave candle, and this is a decent candle with decent power, I think, in the current market scenario. And the reason for that is this particular candle has been made at a 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. The biasness, obviously, it stays down. There is certainly no doubt about that. But if you watch the hourly charts very closely, you will notice a couple of things which are interesting. First thing which is evident is obviously the RSI. I will just like to convert this particular candlestick chart into a line chart. And if you can see properly, somewhere over here, we had started developing a sign that the current market scenario is such that the downside momentum is getting weaker. And we had this lower low in price and higher low in RSI. And then when we had this up movement, just a little bit, this got confirmed that there is a positive divergence in RSI. So positive divergence in RSI with a decent candle coming up at a support level is a sign that the volatility has expanded and probably it is a time for a decent short-term pullback. The first candle which we saw in the hourly charts today was a hammer. And after that, we can see a spinning top and then we have a big green candle. I think till this point, the overall biasness of today's trading session was certainly bullish, and then we saw a little bit of volatility and sideways movement happening. Now, there can be two things. At times what happens is if the selling pressure in the market is extremely powerful, then the bears will not even allow the price to go higher. Rather than that happening, what happens is the price will keep on consolidating up and down, sideways. And this particular moving averages will try to come lower, and then possibly you'll see a down move happening. Either that thing happens, or might be we could see a swift pullback. And after that, whatever appears in front of our charts, I'll share with you in my next video. But it depends how the entire market decides where it wants to go, whether it wants to consolidate and whether it wants to go, because I've always told that market has its mind of its own. Market decides where it wants to go. And in case if market decides that a pullback is necessary, then I think the first level which could be tested could be somewhere around 16,440 to 16,450, somewhere around in this zone. All right, where we have a lot of volumes which have been generated, if you can see in the volume profile indicator. And if the pullback extends even further, then it would find resistance between this temporary resistance zone between 16,500 to even 16,646 or 16,650 levels. All right. Now, let us go to the Bank Nifty futures. In Bank Nifty future, if you see properly, in my weekly sectoral analysis, which I shared with all of you on Saturday, I think the title of the video was Make or Break for Bank Nifty. So if you must have seen the video, it is very clear to you why did I stated that title. The title was stated because Bank Nifty future is trading currently at a very important support. You can see this trend line support is holding on since 24th March 2020. So this is a more than 2 years old trend line, and it has been tested almost 4 times now. And the candle which is evident over here is again a high wave candle, just like Nifty futures. And you can see RSI is just above 30. So this is probably a sign. And even one more thing, price is slightly away from the moving averages. One more thing in the hourly charts, again, I would like to convert this candlestick chart into the line chart. And if you can see properly, we do have a decent positive divergence. In fact, this is a triple positive divergence, not even a double. This is a triple positive divergence. So this is a sign that market is overextended and volatility has expanded in Bank Nifty futures, especially after the 4th and you can see the 5th May. These 2 days were responsible for the downturn of the Bank Nifty and Nifty. So some sort of consolidation is required, or maybe if not a consolidation, then a pullback might happen. If the Bank Nifty futures decide to pull back, I think the first level which could be tested would be somewhere around 34,715. And instead, if the Bank Nifty futures decide that it wants to pull back even further, then I think the next level which could be tested is 35,154 to 34,835. So this entire short-term temporary resistance band will act as a strong resistance for Bank Nifty futures. All right. And this pullback will just be short-term in nature. The overall biasness as of now is still on the downside. If this pullback occurs, it will just be in short-term in nature and temporary in nature. In terms of another sectoral indices, I think if you watch Bank Nifty closely, you'll have to be very, very particular in your trade picks, because there has been a rift between private banking space and the PSU banks. If you check properly, then we do have a high wave candle in the private banks, and in the PSU banks, we have a big red candle. Again, if I go back to the private banks and if I open and check few of the stocks one by one, say for example, this is Axis Bank, we can see a hammer, and I had also mentioned this particular stock in my weekly sectoral analysis that some sort of pullback is necessary in this stock. So we'll need to wait and watch how things pan out in the next few days for this particular stock. If I check IndusInd Bank, you can see a big red candle. ICICI Bank is still showing a negativity, no signs of pullback, because even if there is a support band over here, you can see this horizontal support band, still we have a high, we have a shooting star over here. Kotak Bank, if you check, I think it is still consolidating. I think the heavyweight HDFC Bank is responsible over here, mainly according to me, because it has tried to pull back from its long-term support. And apart from this, I think there is one more index which is responsible for today's pullback, is the IT pack. It's clearly visible that we do have a positive divergences very much visible in this particular index, and the RSI is making a clear-cut higher low and the price is making a lower low. All right. So IT is responsible mainly for today's pullback, because if you see, Nifty futures had made a low of 16,167, but it managed to close at 16,134. So I think all the traders should keep their eyes open and keep these particular stocks on their watch list, like TCS, Tech Mahindra. Infosys has been outstanding. Also, all these IT pack stocks are probably in a mood to pull back. I think next few days will make things even clear for all of us. All right. So I hope this particular video helped you to understand what is happening in the market, how things might pan out in Nifty and Bank Nifty futures in the next few days, and few other sectoral indices. And if you feel this particular video has added value to your analysis also, then share this video with other traders who might find it useful, and kindly let me know with your comments below, how did you find this video? Thank you, trade well and stay safe.